Alright. So, now that we've learned how to add integers, let's learn how to subtract them. So it says when you subtract a positive integer, you must move left on a number line. For example, the equation 5 minus 3. We start at 5, move left, which is subtract 3, and end up at 2. So that's what all these say. 5, so start at 5, you're moving left because you're going minus, and you ended up at 2. 4 minus 7. So this is all stuff you guys should have learned before, because this is just basic subtraction. So start at negative 4, like this says. 1, 2, 3, 4. And since it says minus 1, that means I'm going to move left because I'm subtracting a positive, and I'm only going to go 1. So that's going to put me right there. So I'm going to say that. So I'm going to say my answer is negative 4 minus 1 is a negative 5. Alright, again. So we're starting at 1. Minusing, so minus means you move to the left, and since it's a positive number, that means I'm just going to stay that same way. So minus 8, so that means I need to go 8 left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6, 7, 8. And so now I'm going to end on 1, let's see, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4. Okay, ends up on negative 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We didn't go far enough. 7. Alright, negative 7. Alright, and your last one. 3, 1, 2, 3. Minus negative 9. Just going to put it right there, and that's going to end up on negative 6. So 3 minus 9 is negative 6. Alright, now, if we move to the left when we subtract a positive, that means we move to the right when we subtract a negative. So this means what we just said. So if you think about it, a negative is just the opposite. So if you're subtracting a positive and you move left, the opposite, which is of a positive, is a negative, and the opposite of moving left is moving right. So that's what we just said here. So 1 minus negative 4 is positive 5. Negative 1 minus negative 5, positive 4. Negative 4 minus negative 3, negative 1. Alright, so we're going to take a look at this. Start at the 2. You're minusing a negative, so that's making me go to the right. A negative 5, so that means 5 at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to end right here. So we can go ahead and stretch our arrow. So that's going to end up at 7. Alright, this one's starting at negative 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bring our arrow down. So I'm going to the right 8, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's go ahead and stretch my arrow out. So that looks like it's going to be a positive 2. And your last one over here, negative 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring your arrow down. And we're going to go to the right 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Go ahead and stretch our arrow, and that looks like it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, positive 4. Alright. Alright, so same thing here. Now, I'm going to show you a little trick, because I hate subtracting by negatives. So I'm going to use something called stay, change, opposite. So what that means is the first number stays the same. I'm going to change my minus to a plus, and then I'm going to take my opposite of the second number, because I think it's a lot easier to add than it is to subtract. So I'm going to go 6, so stay. I'm going to change my minus to a plus, and I'm going to take the opposite of negative 3, so that's 3. So 6 plus 3 is 9. Over here, stay, change the minus to a plus, Negative 6. And the opposite is 6, so 11 plus 6 is 17. Stay. The opposite of minus is plus, and then the opposite of negative 3 is, or positive 3 is 3. So this is negative 8 plus negative 3. Same signs. Add them together. Keep the sign. 5 minus 8. Stay. Change the minus to a plus. Opposite is negative 8. Different signs. Subtract. Keep the sign of the bigger one. Stay. Change. Opposite of negative 12 is 12. Different. Subtract. Keep the sign of the bigger. And stay. Change. Opposite. So 10 plus 10 is 20. So let's check that out and see, make sure we got it right. So we said 9, 17, negative 11, negative 3, 10, and 20. So we got those all right. Alright, now we also have negative 11 minus 6. So stay, change, opposite, same signs, keep the sign of what you had. Negative 11 plus positive 6. Different sign, subtract, so that's 5. Keep the sign of the bigger one. Stay, change, the opposite of negative 20 is 20. Different signs, so subtract, 20 minus 20 is 0. You can't have a negative 0 or a positive 0, so we're just going to leave it like that. Stay, change, the opposite. Different signs. Keep the sign the one that had the most. Stay, change, opposite. So I'm going to say that one is positive 7. And the last one, stay, change, opposite. Say negative 25. Okay, let's check. Negative 17, negative 5, 0, negative 11, 7, and negative 25. So that was that. Alright, so did you notice that adding a negative number is the same as subtracting a positive? So that's what we just talked about, that stay, change, opposite. And did you notice that subtracting a negative number is the same as adding? So that's exactly what we just talked about on that last page, stay, change, opposite. We can use these facts to rewrite problems. Because like I said, I always think that it's easier to do addition. So I'm always going to change everything to addition. But for this, just to show you what it is when you change, you can do stay, change, opposite for either one. So if you like to subtract, you can. So I can rewrite this as 7 plus negative 3 equals 4. I can write this one as 7 plus 3 equals 10. I can write this as 8 minus 3 equals 5. And I can write this one as 8 minus a negative 3 equals 11. So we can do that with all those. Alright, so it says draw a line to match each expression to its rewritten form. So if I change this one, stay, change, opposite, so the first number always stays the same, that would change to a minus, and the opposite is a 3. So I'm looking for a negative 4 minus 3. So that would be right there. Stay, change, opposite for this one would be a negative 4, change that to a plus, a negative 3. Remember, we always put those parentheses around it to keep them apart. So that's way down here. So negative 4 minus a negative 3. It's way up at the top. 3 plus a negative 4. You are over here. 3 minus a negative 4 up here. And then this one, 3 plus 4. There you go.